like teenage girls.
When you say teenage, how old are we talking?
Girls who are teenagers.
Rolex on your wrist, thePLAINEStjane.
For someone to come home with me, all you have to do is be quit playing. I didn't do this stuff. But just use your common sense. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this. This is not about music.
Seen error and error and error. Seen that.
What up and welcome back. I'm Jane, thePLAINESTjane, and I thought that the R. Kelly intro would be so fitting for this. Why? Because these trials are eerily similar, and we're gonna get into all this, okay? But listen, in the meantime, y'all go ahead and have a seat on my bus. I'm Jane, thePLAINESTjane, and over here on this channel, I provide you all syrup in the form of Black news and celebrity entertainment, and I'm glad to have y'all on my bus once again, okay? So make sure y'all have a seat. And let me just go ahead and say this. Let me just go ahead and pay some homage really quickly. Ooh, it's hot. Really quickly. All of us miss Wendy Williams, and we truly wish that Wendy was here. Still able and willing to give us commentary and to give us her take, her spin, the facts as she knows it and as she remembers it. We totally wish that she was here. I am no Wendy Williams, but I can tell you that I am inspired by Wendy Williams, and I am walking in her footsteps, just like Wendy was walking in Oprah's footsteps, and so on and so forth. But nonetheless, we wish Wendy was here, and we wish Wendy well. But this would have been a key if Wendy was still on the air, daytime television. Woo! This would have been the best week of our lives. Do you hear what I am telling you? So everybody come on in, have a seat, drop some pancakes in the chat. We have so much that we need to get into. I appreciate all of you who are here, whether you're a regular subscriber, whether you're a random viewer, whether you're a channel member, whether you're part of the Patreon, whether you're a moderator, whether you're in the Discord. I appreciate your presence. We're going to get right into this thing, okay? So y'all know things are always sticky in Hollywood and in real life, and these are the types of things I cover with celebrity entertainment and Black news, viral and trending stories. So listen, we've all heard about P. Diddy at this point. P. Diddy thought he was Senor Invincible. And baby, the chickens have come home to roost. And the chickens are not going to stop clucking, baby. Like, they're not going to stop clucking. And honestly, I can say I'm here for it. Just because it's not like he stole a pack of bread from the market. He's done so much more. And so P. Diddy, with his take that. Government said, okay. So it's just not happening. And what really baffles me about this, or it doesn't really baffle me. I mean, it kind of does, but with Diddy, it's like you really should have been over there in Bali with Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons should be paying for his crimes as well, but he had enough common sense to know, if I don't want to pay for it, if I don't want to go down, I need to go somewhere where I can't be extradited. Diddy really has been doing these things for over the span of about 3 decades and felt like he was bigger than whoever and whatever, and he could throw cases because he's thrown cases before. And shout out to Shine, and props to him for speaking out about his truth today. All right, about how Diddy ruined his life and sent him to prison and made him the fall guy for a crime that he didn't even commit in 1999. All right. So Diddy thought he was invincible. And so he didn't even try to go. He should have been over there right next to his buddy, Russell. But no, he thought he was bigger than it. He thought he could beat it. And now here we are today. Here we are. Hey, look, it is what it is. What I really want to know is, I know that social media can be very polarizing about anything. I could say hell is hot. You'd have some people to be like, oh, it's cold. Okay, cool. So where are all of my oil defenders at? I really want to know where you are, because I know most of the people in my chat, honestly, because my inbox has been completely blown up. to cover this case, because a lot of people are feeling the nostalgia and they're feeling like this feels like an R. Kelly type of case. Like, what is this? So if you don't if you really feel like Diddy is a monster, put a 1 in the chat. If you're an oil defender, put a 2 in the chat. It's okay. Oil defenders, come out. You're safe here. As long as you're not disrespectful, come on out. Come on up out of the closet. Just come on out if you're an oil defender, okay? This is a safe space as long as you're respectful. But things be happening to the oil defenders. Just like y'all know how I do when I cover trials. I start from outside the courthouse and I work my way in. So let's get into this Diddy defender. I do have footage of a Diddy defender outside of an oil defender outside of the courthouse. Do we have any twos? Any twos at all? Any twos at all? I just want to know. Let me show y'all this. There is an oil defender that I found. And I mean, I almost want to say bless his heart, but I don't want to put any blessing on somebody that's going to be, you know what I'm saying? Like that type of person. So let's see. Let's get into this Diddy defender real quick.
Signed it, man.
Yo, dog.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro.
Yo, dog.
I'm sorry. That's right. You got his signature.
Yo, dog. If I guarantee you, if I you up right now with this Diddy on,
That'd be a good picture.
now you tell me how much it's gonna be worth then.
Oh, he's gonna be worth millions.
You ready? He's from out of town, right? I'm gonna show
I'm
you
from all over the world.
Yo, dog. I'm gonna show you what a real thug do. Phil, what a real OG.
Okay, baby, you took on the persona of Diddy in order, like, you standing outside of the courthouse with a Diddy hoodie on with no sleeves is crazy work. It's crazy work. You got the homeless man making fun of your hoodie and your dedication to defending Diddy, and then you out here trying to put the pressure on a homeless man like you Diddy. Like, is you Diddy spirit? And I'm like, what? Baby, okay. Okay. That's that. Like I said, we start. Let's just watch the game.
Signed it, man.
Yo, dog.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro.
Yo, dog.
I'm sorry. That's right. You got his signature.
Yo, dog. If I guarantee you, if I you up right now with this Diddy on,
That'd be a good picture.
now you tell me how much it's gonna be worth then.
Oh, he's gonna be worth millions.
You ready? He's from out of town, right? I'm gonna show you
I'm from all over the world.
Yo, dog. I'm gonna show you what a real thug do. Phil, what a real OG.
When it comes to Robert, and when it comes to Diddy, they be having people that are going to hardcore defend them. I was about to say shout out to Boosie and Faison Love, but fuck y'all. And to anybody who popped out the bushes and wants to identify as an oil defender, boo, you're a loser. You're a loser. You, Boosie, Faison, this man, and like, where did you even get that Diddy hoodie made? That hoodie is giving all of what Netta and Charles clothes be looking like. Y'all know how Netta and Charles be having the swap meet in the flea market, Gucci and Louis Vuitton and everything else. It's giving stop that shit. Like it's giving like, how much did you pay to have that buy? With your
Oh
children?
my God.
Okay. All right. So that's that. So, I always start outside the courthouse, and that's just how I do with my breakdowns. But listen, I want to call the oil defenders losers, but you are welcome to be a part of the chat and to voice your opinion respectfully. But this is a man who literally targets children. He has a pattern of abusing his power, intimidating and manipulating people with just his placement, with his access and his authority and whatever, threatening to ruin people's lives, their livelihood, their career, to the point where people really are afraid and they feel the need to satisfy whatever Diddy's trying to coerce them to do. They are stuck between a rock and a hard place. Do I do what's best for my livelihood, or do I satisfy what Diddy is saying and then get a little bag too? Like, it's just a whole bunch going on. So obviously I want to give you a trigger warning. I'm gonna say it a couple times before we really get into the things, but Diddy's targeting children. I have the receipts. I'm gonna show you all that. Dangling people's livelihood in front of their faces with threats to destroy them or their career. You know, the reason why I say that Diddy, and please make sure as you come on in, please be sure you're liking the video. All right. And share this video out with somebody who is nosy and wants all the facts, because we're getting into all of it today. Y'all know when I do my breakdowns, I'm very, 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 very thorough. And so that's why I wasn't rushing to try to be the first to do this. But nonetheless, this case, I was so surprised when I went back, because I keep the notes to each and every show that I script and that I write out, and I put my facts and whatever. And I went back and I put them side by side, my R. Kelly coverage compared to what I prepared for this run sheet. It is so similar, it's not even funny. Racketeering, all of this other stuff. Like, these trials look nearly identical in my opinion. Of course they have some differences, but here's my thing. Because he's going to get time. Like, Diddy is going to get time. He's not going to be able to pay this one off. And so when Diddy actually gets sentenced to prison time, when he goes to actually sit in the prison cell and he's sitting next to R. Kelly, I just want when him and R. Kelly, because they did a song together before, right? When they go and meet up with each other, it's like they're long lost brothers, the way that they commit these crimes. I just want them to walk up to one another. Twin, where have you been? Nobody. No, because both of y'all thought y'all were invincible, in that y'all could do this for over the course of 20 to 30 years and that you would never be caught, and that you could abuse not only women, but men too. The people in these court cases that are alleging these things against Diddy are not just women. It's men too. These cases are so nearly identical. It literally gave me, and I'm not even lying. I'm not even lying. It gave me the chills as I was getting my notes together over the past couple of days. And let me just let you know what it was, how I was looking, how I was feeling, and what was going on when I was trying to get my notes together for this. Baby, this is what was going on. Baby, the way that this Diddy news, can you relate? Can somebody put a 9 in the chat if you feel like this Diddy news is coming out so fast that I can't even keep up? I mean, because it's just so much that it's more than, and the R. Kelly stuff was extreme. It took a huge toll on me, but I was dedicated to getting y'all the news. Baby, me trying to keep up with this stuff. I had been preparing this presentation for y'all since Monday, when I heard that the man got arrested. Oh my gosh. Every time I thought I was done and I was ready to give y'all something, more came out, and I'm like, oh, well, I can't go live without giving. I finally had to create a cutoff limit for myself. And my cutoff limit for myself for today was about it was kind of 9 or 10 o'clock this morning. Then I found something about an hour before I went live. It's like the news won't stop. If I wait until the news stops coming out to report to y'all, I'll never be able to report to y'all. So I was just like, I got to stop looking, put out my first piece, make it as thorough as possible. And then from there, I can go back, because I'm pretty sure it's news coming out now. I got to start somewhere. You know what I mean? And the trial hasn't started yet, but there's still so much legal information and so many motions and transcripts and things being shuffled around that I feel the need to break this down for y'all before we get started with the trial. This will do something for the both of us. It'll make it easier for me to have a better understanding when I do cover the trial, because yes, your girl is covering the trial. But it will also make things better and more cohesive for you all to understand when I cover the trial as well. So I want to get started early. I know my breakdowns are something different. Call me trying to toot my own horn or whatever you want to call it. My breakdowns are something extremely different. The way that I organize the information and make it extremely digestible for you all. So I'm really excited to get back into this trial coverage bag for you all, because I really haven't really been here like that since the R. Kelly trial. And I appreciate all of you all remembering how valuable my coverage was to you all when I covered both of the R. Kelly trials. Okay. And so we're going to get into this. Let me see. The physical abuse. Yeah, it's crazy. There are too many similarities with them. You know, that's why I say, twin, where have you been? R. Kelly and both Diddy like to blackmail people after they have intimate relations with them. They like to physically abuse women. They like to tote their power and control people, have multiple girlfriends, but tell all of the girlfriends that they can't have anybody else. It's bizarre. It is completely bizarre. But like I said, y'all know how my breakdowns are. So I know a lot of y'all were hitting me up and saying, like, when you getting on it, like, I'm not rushing to be first. I am rushing to be accurate. I'm rushing to make sure I have a very detailed. I'm making sure I understand it forwards, backwards, sideways, up and down, and diagonal to make sure I can really break it down to y'all in a way that makes sense, because legal jargon can be so confusing. And that's why certain lawyers be getting off, because the verbiage and all that's going on and the possibilities can be very confusing. So my breakdowns are very special to y'all and to me. And I didn't want to cheapen or lessen the quality of my breakdowns, even though it's been a while since y'all had one. I'd like to make sure that they are cohesive, that they are fluid, digestible, and easy to follow and understand. And in this video, what I'm going to do is we're going to go over so much: the indictment, the bail hearings, the attorney who was arguably out of pocket. Some people think. I would love to know what you all think when we get into that. There's so much that we are going to be going over. It is not even funny. So we're going to take off in just a moment. What I'm going to do is this. What I'll say is this. Y'all know when I covered the Robert trial, right? The drawings had a lot of people cracking the hell up, because them drawings was kind of like, they was wild. So I just want to get into these drawings because I want to say the court artists are back at it again, because one of these was giving Marlon Wayans. This was giving Marlon Wayans to me. Oh, it was giving Marlon Wayans. Is it not? Like that was giving Marlon Wayans, and it's another one we about to get into on this idle screen that I prepared for y'all. This the one right here. Hold on. Let me show you. I have this image that I want us to be able to zoom in on, because I'm like, damn, did y'all have something against the man? Like, what's going on? What's happening? Lean with it, rock with it. Because listen, I feel like they be taking liberties, because here's the thing. Like I said, I have been following this since Monday when he got arrested, and all of the reports that came out from the reporters who were live tweeting, live reporting, who were present, who were able to actually lay eyes on P. Diddy, they were actually saying that he looked extremely unbothered in day one. And this is a day one photo, right? They said he looked extremely unbothered, didn't have no remorse. We all know he pled not guilty, all that other stuff. And they drew these eyebrows real evil. And I'm like, ooh. And like I said, that one looked like Marlon Wayans, baby. These court artists, they are back at it again with the bull crap. We were literally cracking the F up based off of these drawings for the R. Kelly trial. So they definitely gave him some like devilish eyebrows. Let me tell you where I feel like they just wanted to demonize the way he looks anyway. And I'm like, okay, go ahead, but stay truthful. Like, don't take a liberty. But it reminded me of Lunel a couple of months ago. Take a look. Child, I said not they they didn't even do anything original. They just went ahead and stole Lunel's little, you know what I'm saying? Not y'all went and stole Lunel's little idea. Lunel knew what it was. Lunel be having some good sense. Okay. And that was like months ago. So that's what that reminded me of. Let me see. What are the other pictures, child? Let me take this. Let me take this out of the thing. What other pictures are there? Because like I said, the one looked like Marlon Wayans. Let me show y'all so y'all don't think I'm tripping. The one, because y'all know Marlon Wayans, he keeps like this like really slight taper that looks like a little like, it's a like slight, I can't even explain that type of haircut because I'm not a guy. But it was like, it was giving Marlon Wayans to me. And I was like, why? Like, why is it giving Marlon Wayans? But I'm gonna move past this in a minute. But y'all know I like to start off with a little bit of humor, especially when we're getting into stuff that's like, what in the Marlon Wayans scary movie is going on? Y'all know I gotta get my laughs out before we get deep into, you know, actual misconduct and things of that nature. Like, what is Marlon Wayans doing up here on the stand? What did he do? I'm trying to understand. I don't know. I do not know. I do not know. I know. Don't know. So that's that. And I just wanted to tickle upon that little point for a moment. Okay. So let's see. What are we going in next? I've got my points. And so listen. There is so much. You know what? There is one thing that I want to debunk. There is this illegitimate phone call. I don't want to call it an illegitimate phone call, but the context is completely incorrect. People saying that there's this phone call of of Usher calling the police on Diddy, and Diddy was trying to break into his house or something like that. And you can hear Usher's voice on the phone, but he's whispering. And that's cap. Y'all, like, y'all really have to listen to that phone call. There was a fan trying to break into Usher's house a couple months ago, and that is what that phone call is about. He never says Diddy's name because it's not about Diddy, and it was literally just a couple months ago. So I wanted to go ahead and debunk that. There was something else I wanted to debunk, but there's, like I said, there is so much Diddy info coming out that it's like you can't even keep up with it all. So in perfect fashion, like I said, this is one of my breakdowns. Y'all know how I do. We're going to get started. I am going to be talking fast the entire video. Get used to it. Slow it down a half a notch if you need to. But there is so much we need to get through. It's not even funny. And one thing about it is, with all of this information, just like with the R. Kelly trial, when I covered it, and I was mentioned by the New York Times. Yes, shout out to me. Yeah. Shout out to me. I have to remind you all that I'm not just a YouTuber. I was mentioned by the New York Times. Okay. The New York Times. Okay. Because my coverage of the R. Kelly trial was so impeccable. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. So we're going to proceed. And there is so much information in this video. If I even gave y'all the itinerary, we would be here till tomorrow. I just have to dig into it. So there's so much information and there's so many documents that it'll make your head spin. So I'm going to show you the photos, the videos, the documents, the articles, and I'm going to walk you through and help you understand all of these things in a way in which makes sense, because it's just too much for people to understand if they haven't really been following it, and especially to put it in order. And there's a lot of and disinformation out here, misinformation and disinformation. So, without further ado, we are about to go ahead and get started. Y'all already know we probably gonna have to go to the bush and weep a time or two, but we're gonna get started. And like I said, let me see, where are the likes at? We've got 137 likes, 270 people here. Okay. If we could get to like 150, that would be cool. We try to just keep it at half. If we got 300, we want 150. So we just want to make sure we keep the likes up. And without further ado, listen, Let's go.
The plainest Jane. This is one of my favorite comments here. She says, I loves me some black, and she said, loves me some black news. She says, is it just me, or does anyone else get tired of seeing people that don't look like them delivering info about them day in and day out?
All right, and we are back. Now listen, I already told y'all about hitting thumbs up. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. We are going to ensure that y'all understand that a trigger warning is in place, okay? Because this is a really serious subject. It's a really serious subject that we have going on here, and we want to make sure that you are protected. And listen, here's what I'll say. Think about your mental health before you proceed. I used to spend a lot of time. I used to spend like 3 minutes, like, oh, make sure your mental health is okay, and da-da-da. And I mean, like, I don't mind being considerate to you all, but just, you know, it's common sense at this point, and I'm sure people already feel like I'm taking a long time to get to the point. Think about your mental health before we proceed, before you proceed with this video. Just think about that. So we're going to go ahead and move forward. I hope that all of you all are feeling okay. I just want to go ahead and show you what is available and ways in which you can support the show. This is my Cash App. It is also on the screen if you want to support the show in any way possible. I don't care if you only send $1 or whatever you send if you want to support the show. It took me a long time to research this. It took me a long time to pull all of these videos, these photos, falling down rabbit holes and doing research. It took a long time to get this together. Y'all are not obligated to give me anything monetarily. You are obligated to hit the like button. I'm going to tell you that, because this is my bus and I'm driving and y'all are on it and y'all are enjoying it and being informed and entertained. But the Cash App or Super Chats or whatever that I'm going to get to in a moment, y'all are not required to do any of that. So please don't feel pressured. But it is an option, and I just wanted to let you know that it's there. So you can screenshot, take the QR code, do whatever you may do. Okay? Now, back to Mr. Baby Oil. Okay. We're going to go ahead and get started. And of course, make sure y'all subscribe and comment throughout this video as you watch. And most importantly, don't forget to think critically and independently, regardless of what you hear from me or anybody else. So listen, when it comes to P. Diddy, as you know, Puffy, P. Diddy Bop, whatever you want to call him, he has been accused of leading a criminal enterprise. And I mean, we all know that by now. We all know that by now. He's been accused of leading this criminal enterprise. And Tuesday, he was officially charged with 3 felony crimes of racketeering conspiracy, trafficking by fraud, force or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. And long story short, 15 to life, baby. 15 to life. It's nothing else to say. It's really just 15 to life. That's the only thing that we can say about this. The racketeering charge carries a minimum of 15 years and a maximum sentence of life in prison. So unless he gets off completely scot-free, he's going to be doing at least 15 years per the minimum if the prosecution is doing what they need to do. And so Diddy's RICO charge alleges that his criminal enterprise began at least in or about 2009, and it included trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, as well as obstruction of justice. Baby, all of the things. What wasn't he doing? At this point, what wasn't he doing? We know what he was doing, but what was he not doing? I am complete and absolute confusion, but let us continue. Let us. Now, this is all based on the multi-count indictment, which outlines all the multi-count indictment. It's glaring, right? And I was going to read it in this video, but there's so much that we need to get to. If y'all want me to read it, I will. Backstage out here, I really don't care. I'll read. Of course, I've already read it, but I'm going to summarize it for you. This multi-count indictment, it outlines all of the evidence that the feds have been gathering for 4 years, okay, against Diddy, and maybe even more. But from my research, I found 4 years. And I know most of us remember, and if you don't, 6 months ago, his mansions in both Los Angeles and Miami, they were both raided. Now, what was found 6 months ago during the raid were 3 AR-15s with defaced serial numbers. Hello? Like, are we watching some episode of a criminal show because the only time, well, baby, I'm not in the streets. I'm not out here gang banging. Okay. So I don't know anybody defacing guns. The people that I know who are gun owners legally own their guns. I understand the need to maybe have a little hot gun every now and then, but it's not my life experience, not my problem. So it's not the fact that he had 3 AR-15s. It's the fact that the serial numbers were defaced. That's like, what the hell you got going on? What are you planning? What have you already done? Like, what's happening? What type of weapons were Biggie and Pac taken out with? Because it damn sure wasn't a Glock. That's for sure. But let's continue. Also, what they found was a large capacity of drum magazines, 1,000 bottles, and I know we've all heard of this at this point, the 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. That's over the top. That's how you know how freaky he is. Sometimes I wonder if he's worse than R. Kelly because, like, there were so many things that made the R. Kelly thing so naturally salacious. This is another thing that makes this naturally salacious. The fact that you need over 10 bottles of lube is crazy, let alone that. I'm sorry. Let's even just go with 100. 100 bottles of lube is enough to make me look at you like you crazy. Matter of fact, 10 or 5. I don't know. Baby oil lasts a long time. 1,000 bottles of lube on the wall. 1,000 bottles of lube. Like you taking one down and passing it around. 1,000 bottles of lube on the wall. Like, this is completely out of control to me. Like, he needs therapy. And look at this picture on this B-roll that I created. Look at him. 1,000 bottles of lube, man, right there. Look, easy to draw. Very easy to draw. Like, what is this? How many freak offs was you having? I mean, like, woo, baby. I don't know. He's out of pocket.
Out of pocket for that shit. Way out of pocket. What do you gain from that?
All right. Moving forward. So the 1,000 bottles of lube, in addition to the 3 AR-15s with the defaced serial numbers, the large capacity drum magazines, 1,000 bottles of lubricant and or baby oil, narcotics such as ketamine, which I hear is enough to knock out a horse. So for humans to be taking it is completely crazy to me. Then, per the prosecutor, he had narcotics in his hotel room, and they're saying that it was that same pink powder that we saw in the paperwork with Miami's name. They're saying that it tested for X, aka ecstasy. Also, they are in possession of 90 cell phones, laptops, and cloud storage accounts. They say they also have documentary evidence obtained through 300 grand jury subpoenas, including materials from over 100 entities and individuals, including communications providers, tech companies, social media companies, banks, and other financial institutions, airlines, hotels, and car services, and other travel-related companies. Escort services. All right. And even the defendant's companies and wealth management firm. Listen, y'all have got to understand how much of a big deal it is for the federal government, to be investigating you in a way in which you have issued 300 subpoenas. 300 of them. Wait till you hear how many pages of information they have. We'll get there. They also have, quote, recordings of phone calls that Sicko Sean made to victims and witnesses after allegations about him became public in late 2023, last year. They're saying that deviant Diddy and others pressured them, including through attempted bribery, right? Attempted bribery, to stay silent and not report what they experienced or knew to law enforcement. Now, Crooked Combs and his companies have forked over 144,000 pages in documents over just the last few months. Crooked Combs and his company over 144,000 pages in documents over just the last few months. Sicko Sean and deviant Diddy must be stopped. Crooked Combs must atone for his crimes. Now back to the indictment. It was just 14 pages, right? It wasn't too much. But right out the gate, like literally right out the gate, the indictment stated that slippery suspect Diddy, for decades, abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. Sweetheart, I feel like I am, and whoever you are listening to this video, I feel like your heart is sweet unless you're an oil defender. So, sweetheart, let me tell you this. I feel like I'm in deja vu, for real, because this is exactly how all of the R. Kelly stuff read. This is exactly how all of the R. Kelly stuff read. This man ain't no different. They twins. Where have they been? Okay. Okay. Says he forced women to engage in these freak-offs, which the indictment defines as, quote, elaborate and produced sexual performances that Diddy arranged, he directed, he masturbated during, and often electronically recorded, end quote. The indictment also outlines how lubed up Love used the sensitive, embarrassing, and incriminating records that he made during them freak-offs as collateral to ensure that the continued obedience and silence of the victims, that he could maintain that. We are just getting started, and I'm already sick of lubed up Love. I'm sick of lubed up Brotha Love. Channel members, get your emojis ready. Let's go to just for a moment.
It was gone.
Let me just go in the bush and weep. Let me just go in the bush and weep. I just have to go in the bush and weep. Really. I don't understand. I swear to God, I don't understand.
So this was basically an open secret. We all know, well, most of us know this, right? Hopefully most of us do. If you didn't know it was an open secret, I'm not going to blame you, right? Because when people are preying on you, obviously you're not hip to their game. It's no different than a predatory loan, predatory financial institutions, and whatever the case is, but at some point, right? Like, because I know that when I look at my demographics, there are some people who are under 20 years old who watch me. So I'm like, okay, you might not know about some of these open secrets, but for those of us who are old enough, we know, we've heard about this stuff. This is why people had no sympathy for the woman named Kitty, who was 33 years old when she went over there messing with R. Kelly. But that's a whole nother situation. Um, uh, I'll talk about Carisha later. I have some thoughts, but it's been an open secret for a very long time. For anybody who is over, I want to say, it might be difficult for me to 27, 28, 27, 28. You know that Diddy is bonkers, like that you really should not be around him. It's been an open secret about Diddy for the longest time. The rumors have been looming around him for years, but as most of us know, Diddy pled not guilty to all of these crimes. And despite his R. Kelly nature to record every single thing he's ever done wrong in life, I don't understand how you can plead not guilty when most of these crimes that you are being accused of are on camera and they have them as evidence, and they're going to use that against you in the court. How the hell are you? Again, no different than R. Kelly's trial, because what did R. Kelly plead? Okay. And so moving forward, the Baby Oil Champ and others provided these victims and witnesses with a false narrative of events in an effort to conceal Diddy's crimes. Okay. So we'll get into who that was in a bit. And there may be more people that he maybe tried to convert or talk into providing a false narrative to law enforcement, but there is one significant case that was actually brought out that we're going to discuss, and we'll get into that in a bit. And so the indictment also lays out how that damn Diddy, quote, kicked and dragged and threw a vase at a woman as she was attempting to leave, end quote. We know who that woman is. She's listed as victim 1 in this case, and that is Cassie. Again, yet another similarity to the R. Kelly case, because there were some victims where they couldn't say their name, but we knew who they were, whether it had been Azriel Clary or whoever. Like, we knew who certain victims were based on what was being laid out in the indictments and the court documents. Now, when a member of the hotel security staff intervened, dirty ass Diddy attempted to bribe the staff member to ensure her silence. And the indictment goes on to say that Suspicious Sean's violence and abuse extended to not only his employees, but also on over to witnesses. And the one bribe that was offered per the indictment was a stack of cash. So Diddy has so much money that he's used to paying people off for whatever, and getting his way in that way. And so that's what he does. So we all know that Diddy is. Are all of y'all still here? Okay, we're still here. Okay. Make sure y'all are still liking and thumbs up in the video, because I'm like looking at my notes and really trying to get this to y'all in the most accurate way. So we all know that the second judge refused to grant bail for Diddy, citing the possibility that he would tamper with witnesses. And here's the thing about it. Long story short, P. Diddy is, not only is he a flight risk, but the flight risk wasn't even the biggest deal about Diddy and what he had going on. It was more so they really weren't worried about Diddy leaving. Especially when we get into talking about his passport, the passports of his families. It's not the flight risk. The flight risk wasn't the issue. But the prosecutors did write because we're gonna get into some witness tampering in a second. That's really the main threat that Diddy has. Either the violence, or I think the witness tampering, and then the fact that he just has a violent past in general is really what it was, but primarily the witness tampering. And we're going to get into that in a second. So it wasn't necessarily him being a flight risk, because I don't think he was going to go anywhere. They had already took his passport, right? So, but nonetheless, the prosecutors wanted him to stay behind bars and not receive bail, so much so that the prosecutors wrote a 16-page letter about how dangerous it is to unleash the diddler back out onto the streets. They wrote a 16-page letter. Y'all know how Aaliyah wrote that 4-page letter, and she enclosed it with a kiss. If I only need 4 pages to let you know how much I love you, for me to send 16 pages as to why they should keep your monstrous ass in the jail, whew, crazy to me, babes. But okay. So they wrote this letter about how dangerous he is and about how much he poses an ongoing threat to safety of the community. And they even included photos of the firearms, the AR-15 guns that they found, that they seized. And remember, the serial numbers were defaced. Like, what are you trying to do with defaced firearm? Like, if you are defacing the serial number on a firearm, what you really trying to do? What you really into? Like, what? What? And so they did all that and gave the pictures of the weapons just to prove how dangerous he is. Okay. So now I want to get into the $50 million bail proposal. Thank you, Just Divine. I do appreciate that. I want to get into the $50 million bail proposal. That is where we need to go next. Are y'all enjoying this video so far? I hope that y'all are, because I spent a lot of time trying to make sure I could get y'all accurate information as opposed to quick information and just reading from spiritual word. I want to make sure I got y'all some accuracy. So let's continue, and I want to get into and we're going to take it back, because obviously we know that the initial bail proposal was denied, and then he appealed it, and that was denied as well. So we're going to go back right now, and we're going to get into the initial bail proposal, what those conditions were that he was offering the court in exchange for his temporary freedom, and then we're going to move forward and get into the second. I want to call it the second bail proposal, but it's kind of like an appeal to the first bail proposal denial. So let's get into that. Please drop some pancakes in the chat if you haven't already. If you are enjoying the show, please just make sure you share it with somebody. Text message, your group chat, share it on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever social medias you use. There's so many different ways you can support this stream without sending a cash app. Without super chatting or whatever the case is. Like the video, subscribe, comment a few times, and I appreciate y'all's presence. It's about 350 of us here. Let's continue, and y'all know we're going to continue with Diddy content moving forward. Let's get into the initial bail proposal. Hey, thanks for letting me keep you connected and in the know with what's happening in the Black world. Don't forget to smash on that like button for support and for more Black news. All right. Not TD Jakes on the screen. What you looking at me like that for? What's TD Jakes doing, y'all? Oh my God. Why was TD Jakes on the screen? Oh no. What's that? Oh my gosh. Oh, not 1,000 bottles. He's sweating. Oh, y'all ever been swallowed up? You ever been swallowed up? Okay. Oh, not the bottles. All right. Okay. Okay, bottles. Okay. Go, Pappy. I know Carisha feeling real crazy right now, ain't she? Swallowed. Child, let me. All right, let's get into. Okay, I got an image I need to use. Oh Lord, where's my image deck? My image deck. $50 million bail proposal package. Let me find my image. Find my image. Oh yeah, here it is. All right. So this package, he actually all of his children's passports were revoked, and I found that to just be even the 1 year old. He has a 1 year old daughter, and I found her passport being revoked crazy as hell. And I just feel like did he need to really realize when some of his actions and others in general, even R. Kelly, it's embarrassing. It has to be embarrassing. I can see the embarrassment on these children's faces, even Quincy walking in and out of that court. Like they don't want to be there. Like, yeah, they want to have their dad's back, but they're being associated with craziness. And this may make it difficult, especially because the twins that Diddy has, they're very beautiful. And I believe they dibble and dabble into modeling. With you being Diddy's children, can you imagine how many people want them on their runway right now? So it's just a mess. Let's move on. $50 million bail package. This is it. You can take a screenshot. Let me try to put it a little bigger on the screen. You can take a screenshot here. Take a screenshot if you want to from right here, because I'm about to make it a little bit smaller. Because I don't like for people to think that I'm doing a no cam video, because no cam videos don't get as many video views as a cam video. So take your screenshot if you need to, zoom in, do what you need to do. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller now, but I'll still have it big. And so basically his lawyers say that he will post the conditions, right? What they were proposing and asking the court for is that he will post a $50 million bond and use his $48 million Miami home and his mother's home as equity. His mother, sister, and 3 sons will co-sign his bond, as will the mother of his oldest daughter. And he'll also stay at home on an ankle monitor and will stay in Florida or New York for court appearances. So he's telling the court, listen, I got all these people to vouch for me. And here's the thing. If he really did find a PJ, you know what I'm saying? A private jet, not a me. Because girl, what? They call me TPJ, not PJ. Get it right. If he really found a PJ to get up out of here with no passport, no whatever, them people, quote unquote, being responsible for him, mother, son, whatever, it don't make a difference. Essentially, them people who you are listing on there, they're supposed to be, quote unquote, responsible for you and making sure that you don't flee or that you do the right thing or that you abide by these like almost kind of like parole like rules that are going on. But if he wanted to just fly off, it's just like he was reaching out to somebody who was a witness, who is a witness on the case over and over again to tell them to lie. That's I don't know. I don't feel that his attorney is competent enough to handle a case like this. His attorney has me giving him the side eye, even though I'm totally anti-Diddy, but I'm totally pro the legal process and I understand how it goes. So I understand ugly things may get said, and we're gonna get into that a little bit later. But his attorney just it's strange to me. It's really strange what's going on with his attorney. So what if your mother, your sister, your children, and whatever will co-sign your bond because they don't have the money. All they have is the ability to guarantee to say, yeah, I'll keep an eye on them. Like they babysitting, like you could fly out the country at any point, but okay. That makes absolutely no sense to me. It makes none at all. But you know, that makes no sense to me. But that was his attorney trying anything, in my opinion. Let's get into this next piece of information. And so his family's passports have been revoked. It's quite crazy. He has several children. Even the 1-year-old's passport has been revoked. She don't even know how she got in it. She don't even know that she is in it. And that's crazy. But nonetheless, despite that initial request or proposal negotiation in order to be released or get some bail, it was denied. And for me, it's given more than 50 million. For me, it's given more than 50 million. It's giving, you wanted to get 50 million and you wanted to use the $48 million Miami mansion as collateral. That's giving $100 million to me. You know what this says? It says that Diddy still has a lot of money. I don't know if, I guess maybe all the money isn't seized up, because a lot of times when you're being accused of things like this, they seize up the money. They seize the money that you are using to be extremely deviant. To, like, at the end of the day, like, they getting you for an abuse of power, resources, all this. Money is a resource. You're using your power and your money in order to coerce people, drug people, have non-consensual intimate relations with people. So sometimes they'll seize that stuff. So maybe he still has some, but he don't have as much as I feel like. If he's putting houses up for collateral, he don't have as much. He's running low. But running low for him is definitely something different than running low for us. But nonetheless, let's move on to the next bail proposal, because not the next bail proposal, the bail appeal, right? The bail denial appeal. Let me see. Where is the information? Where are y'all watching from? Where are y'all watching this video from? What city, what state? Sean Combs offers private plane, mansion, kids, passport, child. Sean Combs appeals bail. Oh, okay, is that what it is? He appealed the bail. Is that what it is? All right. Let's get into the make this bigger. Okay, so Wednesday afternoon, which was yesterday, which is where Dirty Diddy, he was actually wearing the same tracksuit and all that he had on yesterday. It was a black tracksuit that he had on, and an all black, a completely black t-shirt. And basically, he was trying to pinky promise the judge that he would submit to weekly drug testing, that he would have no women, no lady visitors over his apartment, hotel at all, outside of family members who were visiting him. And also that he would have no contact with people who were considered witnesses on the case. So he's trying to pinky promise. Now, first of all, the first set of bail requests sounded like a pinky promise, in my opinion. It really did. This one sounds even more like a pinky promise. Like, I'll stay in here. I won't have no women's. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. And so obviously that was denied. And most of us don't give a damn because he needs to pay for his crimes. So now we get into the talk about a speedy trial. And the thing about it is he has not waived his right to a speedy trial. Seems as though it's not in his interest to waive his right to a speedy trial. I want to know how you all feel about this before I continue. I want to know how you all feel about this before I continue. And I need y'all to talk quickly because, baby, we have so much to get into. Put a 9 in the chat if you think it would be beneficial for P. Diddy to have a speedy trial. Put a 7 in the chat if you think it would not be good for him to have a speedy trial. A 9 if you think he should have a speedy trial. A 7 if you're like, he shouldn't have a speedy trial. I'm going to write this down. Just want to know where y'all land with it. Nine if you think he should have a speedy trial. 7 if you think, nah, it shouldn't be speedy. Based on the charges, based on the accusations, based on the allegations, based on his history, based on how it's looking already, based on whatever you want to base it on. Do you think that a speedy trial would help or hurt him? A 9 if you think the speedy trial would help him. A 7 if you think a speedy trial would hurt him. That's what I want to know before we move forward. I like y'all. I like y'all. I like y'all. Y'all got common sense. Y'all got common sense. This is exactly what this is exactly why. Okay. Well, we're still going to talk about the pros and cons. We're still going to talk about the pros and cons. Because honestly, it could go either way. I know we feel the way that we feel. This could go either way, right? Now, he has not waived his right to a speedy trial, right? Which means that he wants it to happen right away. The con to that is it lessens his time to prolong and prepare for a better strategy or a defense. It limits his ability to spend more time mapping out a good strategy to win this case. That's the con, right? And if you have any other cons, place them in the chat. Please let me know, or any other pros. And the pro, I'm just like in general, just brainstorming, right? And the pro is that the prosecution, I think that the reason why I'm trying to understand why he doesn't want why he wants a speedy trial. And I'm like, It's not that I think that this is a sensical, because I don't think that this is a sensical way of looking at it, but the prosecution just may not be as ready or prepared as they think they are. They do have 50 witnesses. Like I said, there were 30 subpoenas. There are 50 witnesses. And if they're playing this game, like, they're not as prepared as they think they are. as far as the defense saying that the prosecution, being the government, isn't as prepared as they think they are, then if you're underestimating the government, okay, underestimate the federal government, but you don't end up in federal court for no fucking reason. Like, this is not a petty crime. You didn't just steal a pack of 6 oodles of noodles from the dollar store. Like, you being held up on something completely different. But I understand the thought process of thinking that the prosecution isn't prepared, but the prosecution is literally like the richest office, the richest attorney office, period. And they don't like to lose, and they typically don't pull out the gate if they can't lose, especially if you're a big head. If you're a big wig, P. Diddy ain't just that nigga that's selling dope on your corner. P. Diddy is a nigga that been getting away with shit for. So keep thinking they're not going to be prepared, because I remember R. Kelly's team having the very same thought process. And there were over 4 carts and 400,000 pieces of evidence that were brought in. Okay. Moving on. Shout out to everybody who was here. I have to take a second to address the cash apps and things. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you. Shout out to Dreamin' Edmund. Dreamin' Edmund says, you guys better pay your fare, join the crew, period. The prosecutor is likely to argue that possessing such a quantity, it's unreasonable, reinforcing a claim that the witness is testimony. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to who was that? Shout out to DU299. I appreciate you. Shout out to Ahmad L. I appreciate you for being a member for 17 months. Shout out to Chicago Clout. Appreciate you so much. Thank you for the super chat. Shout out to K. Elise. Shout out to the Utah 2 again. Defaced. What's that saying? I cannot see, child. I need to go get my eyes worked on. Oh, defacing weapons can get you a 10-year sentence per weapon. Ketamine produces memory loss. Wow. I didn't know that. You giving the info. Wow. That's shop, baby. Let me tell you something. I'm a little county bounty. I'm a county girl. I don't know anything about that mess. We have yet to see what's going to occur with Miami and California, child. We don't know. Child, we do not know. Okay, let's move forward. Let's continue to move forward. Thank you all for being here. We should definitely be around about 200 likes. And thank y'all for continuously sharing out the video. Let's continue. So I saw, not that I'm really too impressed by it, because really I'm not. To be completely frank with you, but I'll just go ahead and make it, and just let y'all know what's going on. Let y'all see, make the screen bigger. So there is a new documentary slated to release. And so this new so basically we gonna have 115 million. What else has 115 million documentaries? The Titanic. Well, the Titanic is my favorite movie. But what else got 1 million documentary? I guess like Michael Jackson, Titanic. I can only think about great shit. I cannot recall, and I might just be it might just be slipping away from me. But I cannot think about a whole bunch of bad things that have bad people doing stuff like this. Not like 9/11 and stuff like that. Like the Tower wasn't doing what R. Kelly or Sean Combs is doing to people. You get what I'm saying? But I can't think of like bad people who just like got documentary after documentary after documentary about them. But nonetheless, if you care, I saw that there was another documentary coming out about him, and it's being put on by the Investigation Discovery Channel. And it's really interesting to me. We got the 50 Cent one coming out. There's a couple other ones. So at this point, I think I've seen about like 5 that are coming out. So a new docuseries from Investigation Discovery following the rise and fall of Sean Diddy Combs from Maxine Productions. This is the same woman who did the Quiet on Set, which was the dark side of kids TV. It's begun production. So they've already began producing began. They've already started producing this based on Diddy, based on this media frenzy that just won't stop. And so Investigation Discovery says that the docuseries is slated to premiere in 2025, and the rise and influence of Sean Diddy Combs and the allegations of violent behavior and illegal activity that have trailed his ass. And as accounts of sexual assault, abusive behavior, and other disturbing claims surface, the doc traces the story of this self-proclaimed bad boy, unraveling allegations of a pattern of depravity. You know what? Something just came to me. I feel like I do understand why they're doing it now, because his boldness is something that you don't really find a lot. Yeah, it exists in Robert, because people like Robert, people like R. Kelly and P. Diddy, they exist in this bubble where they were hiding in plain sight. Feeling on Your Booty was about 14-year-old girls, or a 14-year-old girl who was in the studio with Robert at that time, and he was feeling on her booty, and he was a grown-ass man. So feeling on your booty, your booty, hootie, like all of that hiding in plain, and all of the other back, forth and forth. Not only did he make that song with Aaliyah, but if you really knew the eerie background behind that song and what he had her doing and what he was making her do, all the shit was hiding in plain sight. Like, so it's the same thing with Diddy and Bad Boy. Can't stop. We ain't going nowhere. We can't be stopped now. Cause y'all can't be stopped. Cause it's Bad Boy for it's so poetic that for the other folks who were in the music industry, it's just like, oh, you found out they was doing dirt, but you can't align the music. You can't but you know, when a documentary can line up certain action, song, this, that, and it makes it so good, because it's like, oh damn, you really was bold. You thought you wasn't going to get caught. You wasn't even trying to cover nothing up, because you thought you had so much money that it was never going to be, you were never going to be penalized. So I think it makes it naturally poetic, considering the boldness. They put it in their music, both R. Kelly and P. Diddy. And this is why I kind of feel like, I kind of feel like P. Diddy is worse. But the thing about, I don't know. They on the same, they around the same place though. I struggle with trying to figure out who is worse, R. Kelly or P. Diddy. I've literally heard the tapes of R. Kelly pissing on women as punishment and making them open their eyes and open their mouth to take it in. So I feel like that is something that can't be topped. But at the same time, both of these men were in the music industry, and they were making music about their devious acts via simile and metaphor and whatever else, and people weren't catching it. And so they were hiding it in plain sight, which makes it easy to not sensationalize, but kind of, you don't have to sensationalize what's already there. Child. That's just my perspective from the back, looking, not from the back looking forward like that, but that's just my perspective. Okay. So it makes it easy for entertainment companies to want to pick it up and talk about these music moguls and pick apart their language and say, listen to their lyrics, look at what they were doing. How come nobody knew? It's the same with the quiet on set. We saw Amanda Bynes taking all the sexual innuendos all up and through, Nickelodeon and everything else. It makes it so easy to look at that and be like, damn, how did we miss that as a people, as a society, as parents? Now, I was a child watching all that, so I didn't know what the hell I was watching. But for the adults, it's like we really gotta look at what we and what our kids are consuming, because this stuff is all out here hidden in plain sight. They're not even trying to hide it no more. They're not. They not. But hey, I digress. So here we are, as we get back on track. Are we all back on track? We took a side break, but we don't know how many the number of victims that we have quite yet. We do know we have 50 witnesses, but we don't know how many of those witnesses are victims. And I just wanted to make that clear, because it seemed to be a little unclear in the legal paperwork. It said we have 50 witnesses and victims. And it's like, what does that mean? And as I continue to read the paperwork, I saw that they had lots of different witnesses from hotels and from here and housekeepers, the people he tried to bribe and everything else. So we can't say we have 50 victims, but we can say we have 50 people who are going to sit on the stand. Some may be victims, some may be witnesses, but we do have 50 people that the government has vetted, very similar to the number of witnesses, right? Because a victim is a witness and a victim, but a witness isn't necessarily a victim. So we know we have at least 50 witnesses. This is similar to the R. Kelly case as well. And so now I want to get into the vicious and ridiculous victim blaming of Cassidy. I want to take this opportunity to provide you all with another trigger warning, because the victim blaming that took place in the courtroom on Tuesday was extremely disgusting. I'm going to read it to you. And I'm also going to just give you a synopsis of all he was trying to say. And ask you a question at the end. So I want to give you all another trigger warning, and we're going to get into the vicious and ridiculous victim blaming that of Cassie in that courtroom. So let me go ahead and get this photo ready, because I do have a bit of a transcript. I have a bit of a transcript that I want to show to all of you. And well, yeah, 2 pages of transcript I want to show, just to help you all understand what is happening here. All right, let's make it bigger so that you can see all this. And I'll make it bigger without myself on the screen, just so that you all can potentially screenshot and read along if you would like. But we're going to get into this. This is a partial transcript from Tuesday in court with P. Diddy, his attorney, and what he had to say about Cassie, and more specifically, the Cassie situation with when we saw him kicking her outside of the elevator, the leaked hotel footage, which was completely out of pocket. So let's go ahead and move forward with that. But before we move forward, I just need y'all to support the video. All right. Thank you so much. Hey, thanks for letting me keep you connected and in the know with what's happening in the Black world. Don't forget to smash on that like button for support and for more Black news. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get into this. All right. So let's go ahead and read this. So this is Tuesday in court. Dirty Diddy's attorney, his name is Mark. I will not be referring to him as his last name because I just don't feel like dealing with his last name. I just don't feel like dealing with it. And I don't like him personally. He was actually quite egregious, in my opinion, towards Cassie when discussing her and her lawsuit. And so she's listed in the lawsuit as victim one. They're not allowed to put Cassie's name in this lawsuit. And that's why you will see her referred to as victim one in this paperwork. Even though we all know who Cassie is and what she experienced, but that's not the point. Respect me. And I said, don't talk about me. Talk about me. Give me some more money, or use my name. So this transcript says, so here's what the attorney said in court on Tuesday. Wow. One thing that's important about this video, and since the government talked about some of the evidence, we have to talk about some of the evidence. What I think the evidence is going to show about the events leading up to this video being made is that two people are in a hotel room, Mr. Combs and Cassie, from count number 2, having looked through more text messages and emails than I care to. And I think the government would agree one of the major issues this couple's relationship had at that point, and at many other points, is that dirty ass Mr. Combs had more than one girlfriend, okay? And victim number 1 was looking through Mr. Combs' telephone when he was asleep. She found evidence that he was dealing with more than one woman. And she was not the only one. And she hit him in the head while he was sleeping with his own cell phone and then took his clothes. She has 2 bags as she runs to the hallway. And one of those bags is, child, I was about to say R. Kelly, is P. Diddy's clothing, all of it. She has left him in a hotel with no clothes. Okay, let me pull up the second page. Child, when I tell you, I'll put this big on the screen for you all as well. Lord knows I need a big on the screen for me. I can't see. Okay. It says, the second one says, so claiming that she took his clothes in the hallway, which is why he came out with the towel on. Y'all know in that infamous hotel video we saw when he was kicking her out. So the attorney is saying, oh, my client came in the hallway and stomped her out and kicked her because she took his clothes and hit him upside the head with a phone. Child. Now, I am not going to comment on the video because my client commented on the video and we all know what we saw. But to the extent that the government says that this is somehow evidence of sex trafficking, it's evidence that Dirty Diddy having more than one girlfriend and getting caught. And that'll be shown not just by words, but by the written communications between the two people. And let me talk about that for a second. This is a 10-year relationship, P. Diddy's attorney says. This sex trafficking is a 10-year relationship. These two people were in love. That will be made abundantly clear by the way they speak to each other, by the way other witnesses described their time together and by the circumstances of how they broke up. They were in love, but Mr. Combs was not always faithful. There was someone else, one person, hell, maybe more than one person. This was a source of great hurt to Cassie. And at the end of the day, not me saying mutual. There was mutual philandering. And Cassie ended up marrying the trainer that Diddy got for her. Okay, and he treated her right. He rescued her. She was a damsel in distress. Okay. And she had 2 children. That signaled the end of the relationship. This is what I need y'all to pay attention to. Look at what's on the screen. That signaled the end of the relationship. The fact that she got with the trainer and got married to the trainer and had 2 kids. They had been cheating on it. They had been cheating on each other for years. But now that she had 2 kids with the trainer, that was the bridge too far that led to their marriage coming apart. I'm sorry, their relationship coming apart. Years and years and years later, when I submit, okay, so that's it. The 2 pages. There's no need to do anything more. Girl. Not you saying when she got married and had 2 kids with the trainer because she didn't get married or had them 2 kids until she left you because you like to kick people in the stomach. She didn't have them kids while she was with you because you wouldn't allow. You probably would have killed her. You talking about the relationship was over when she had them 2 when she got married to that man and had them 2 kids. The relationship had been over. She'd been left you, and these are the true signs of a narcissist. The narcissist, oh, I knew it was over with me and you once you was with that other guy for 5 years and got married and had. Baby, I had already told you it was over. You don't respect a woman's decision. You thought you still had ownership of me. These abusive relationships with these narcissists are something else. Are something else. It is beyond crazy to me. It is beyond crazy. And then he goes on to say, and I'm saying this in so many words. Hold on. And I'm saying this in so many words. The attorney literally followed up and said, oh, she let go of a good thing. Mr. Combs didn't want her no more because the relationship was over because she went and had kids. The attorney goes on to say, years later, she realized she had a good thing with Mr. Combs. Like, what? Like, complete and absolute what? Like, I am extremely confusion. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and continue. So, in a nutshell, as the attorney Mark discussed the hotel assault and Cassie's lawsuit, he was describing it as a fight about hostile honeycombs seeing other women. And that really doesn't matter, and it really doesn't like add up to me. It really doesn't add up to me. Oh, shout out to my mods working. That really doesn't add up to me. Shh. It's not only is it an open secret that Diddy deals with multiple women and doesn't allow those women to date other guys, but why would after 10 years Cassie all of a sudden have an issue about other women? And why would that be an excuse for him to get extremely and ridiculously physical with her? I just can't with hostile honeycombs. But, when it comes to Cowardly Combs, his attorney said Cowardly Combs is not a perfect person, but his toxic relationships were mutual and that he's trying to be a better person for the rest of his days. He also said that Pathetic Puffy wrote a very large check to someone he was in a relationship with for 10 years, and people got in line for their checks. Let me just... So here's my thing about this. I just felt like the victim blaming from this attorney, I felt like it was a bit much. I felt like it was a whole bunch. I felt like it was uncalled for. I feel like there were other ways that you could have mitigated this, or that you could have represented. But you know what, though? Diddy isn't so much of a pickle, right? Because like I was saying earlier, you make it hard for an attorney when you record yourself doing all of this egregious mess. Like, you literally recorded every wrong thing you've ever done, and now the government got it. How the hell do you expect me to defend you? I mean, I'm trying my best, even though I think I probably will lose, but I'm gonna take your money in the meantime. Like, this is quite crazy. What I want to know from you all is, what do you think? Do you think that this attorney is doing his job, or do you think he took it too far? Let me know in the comments. Put a 4 if you think he's doing his job. Put a 5 if you think he's taking it too far. 4 if he's doing his job. 5 if it's too far. Really want to know from y'all. Y'all already know how I feel about it, so I want to know how you feel about it. Now, moving on, we're getting into witness tampering. So, as we get into the witness tampering aspect of this, Diddy ain't afraid of nothing. Well, I don't know if he's afraid of losing his freedom, but witness tampering seems he's been doing it for a while. And this is where the obstruction of justice comes in. This is where the obstruction of justice comes in. All right, so let me make this a little bigger so you all can see it. And so, as you can see with the headline, Diddy is caught up in witness tampering. And the real fact of the matter is, it was never about Diddy being a flight risk. Like I was saying earlier, it was never about him being a flight risk. It was about him being bold enough to tamper with the witnesses. And with this being something where we literally heard Shine say earlier today, he had people testify against me. Obviously, those people were lying. So it's very obvious that Diddy has no issue tapping people on the shoulder and saying, hey, I'm going to need you to go ahead and lie and say this happened, I might got a bag for you, I might not, or you might need to do it because your grandma on dialysis, or you got the single that's finna come out, and I know whoever, I might not let it, he will threaten you in any way possible. So I want to get into the witness tampering aspect and just kind of shed a little bit of light on that. And so prosecutors were claiming that Diddy pressured Kalina Harper, who was one of the women who was not Don Richards, right? And this was after the Don Richards lawsuit came out, that Kalina Harper, who was a former groupmate of Dirty Money, that basically just continuously reaching out to her. And on Tuesdays, the assistant U.S. attorney, she suggested that Diddy reached out to Kalina Harper after Don Richards filed her lawsuit against them last week, and said that he reached out to her 58 times in 4 days. And so Diddy's last message to her came in on September 14th, which was just one day after she released her neutral statement. So basically, she released a statement. Dawn Richards filed her lawsuit about just all of the abuse that she had dealt with from Diddy, right? And there's several different types of abuse: physical, emotional, psychological, blah blah blah. And so, essentially, after Dawn released um, her lawsuit hit the public, Diddy is reaching out to this lady and saying, "Listen." And the lady comes out with a statement that's like, I understand Dawn saying her truth, but her truth don't really exist or overlap with my truth. That's not how I recall. I mean, her truth is her truth. Literally, she kind of like danced around it like, oh, her truth is her truth. But I can't recall the truth that she talking about that happened in front of me. Like, nah. So she called herself trying to release a neutral statement. But you know what's so funny about today? Now she's coming around and saying she don't want had nothing to do with it because she got her own thing going on at court. She got something's going on with her family. She's like in court right now trying to get custody of her kid. Some custody battle. So it's now you don't want to have nothing to do with it. But when you was getting all them phone calls from Diddy, it was like you could have just sat there and ate your food and not said anything. But you came out and Diddy pressured you to make a statement that was basically kind of trying to make it look like Dawn was a liar. And you came out and you made that statement, and now you getting ate the fuck up about it. And now you want to come out and make another statement and say, you know what, I don't want to have nothing to do with this at all. Okay, but you already said something. You already in so many words called Dawn a liar. After Diddy called you 58 times in 4 days. And per the indictment, like we went over this section of the indictment, because when I'm running y'all through my breakdown, we're running through this. I'm literally organizing this stuff based on what it's about. So when we were in the indictment section earlier in the video, it was they were indicting him because he was calling witnesses and encouraging them to provide a false narrative to law enforcement based on what they witnessed or what they experienced at the hands of Diddy so that they could mislead law enforcement. And so after you've already listened to Diddy and he's told you to say, oh, you ain't never seen nothing that Dawn is talking about, and you come out and you say, I ain't never seen nothing that Dawn is talking about, now you catching backlash and you're like, you know what? Okay, well, I don't want to have nothing. You could have just not had nothing to do. Hello? Like, this is a mess. This is a whole mess. It's a hot mess that he has all of these people under his thumb like this. It's really insane, but let's continue moving forward. Another thing that I realized as I was getting into all of this was the feds brought up how they brought up Diddy getting the key to the city. And he had to give it back, right? So he gave it back. Yeah, he gave it back. But what I really got from the feds bringing up Diddy getting the key to the city, even though he already gave it back and they gave it up, and they mentioned this recently, I feel like that sounds like a warning shot to Mayor Eric Adams, because he got the key to the city in New York. The mayor of New York is Eric Adams. Eric Adams is connected to a lot of just shiesty behavior that no one's been able to really pin him down for, but he's been in the middle of over a dozen lawsuits, a dozen schemes with different countries, different dirty entities, just a whole bunch of secret financial plotting, messy, nasty, non-ethicalness. And if you don't remember, he was actually best buds, and there's several pictures of him with Bishop Lamar Whitehead, who some of us know as Bishop Greasy Lips, the bling bling pastor, the one who was standing at the front of the church and seemed like he got robbed on the live stream while he was preaching with 9 people in the church. And he said he wasn't going to jail, but now he in jail. He said he was suing Tasha and everybody else. And now, they were friends. And, he's full of schemes. So he's in there serving, I think, 9 years. And Bishop Lamar Whitehead is in prison right now, I believe, serving 9 years after he already has served 14 years because all he does is scam. And Bishop Lamar Whitehead, his cousin, is Foxy Brown. But Bishop Lamar Whitehead, when he was doing all of his schemes and what got him landed back in jail this time, is he was bribing people who were part of his congregation out of money, and saying that the mayor, Eric Adams, was a part of his network in order to help him bribe these people out of money. And like I said, there were a lot of pictures. They were real buddy photo, but now the mayor has distanced himself from him. He even tried to get somebody that needed, some violent offender that needed to turn themselves in, and Bishop Lamar. It was a mess, child. If you know, you know. But I don't want to muddy up this Diddy coverage with Bishop Lamar Whitehead coverage, but just understand all of these stories are connected. And I have been reading up on Mayor Eric Adams, and everything in the milk ain't clean. I'll just say that. Eric Adams is in crisis. 2 weeks ago, federal agents zeroed in on the top-ranking aides of his administration, and they raided all of their homes, seized all of their phones, because they're continuously investigating Eric Adams, because he's always involved in some dirt. Like, he's just always involved in some dirt. So that's what it is. So long story short, Stickies, look, we got Diddy involved in some of everything that you can imagine: arson, threats, assaults, bribery, forced labor, thousands of bottles of lube on the wall, thousands of bottles of lube. Take one down, pass it around, kidnapping. I mean, listen, all of the things, okay? And so now I want to get into Kevin Liles. I cannot believe we still have so much more to get into. Oh my gosh, this is such a long video, and I did not want that. So we're going to have to speed this up. But I also am going to have to take a quick little moment to wet my whistle. Y'all, what is going on? What's going on? Why is y'all people acting up? Why is y'all people acting up? Hold on. I need a quick pick me up real quick. The sickest part of the video isn't even here yet, because there were some things that made me extremely uncomfortable. Extremely uncomfortable. Let's go. Is y'all ready? Can y'all put a 4 in the chat real quick? A 44 in the chat. Put a 44 in the chat if you were here for my R. Kelly coverage. Let's go. We're going to continue. I'm catching my second wind. We're probably only halfway through, to be completely honest. Can you put a 44 in the chat if you were here doing my R. Kelly coverage, please? I'm trying to catch my second wind. I'm trying to get some excitement in my bones. That's why I'm about to play what I'm about to play. I need some excitement. Woo! Some of y'all was here. Okay. Let's go. Let us go.
Baltimore, I can't see you. Where you at?
Y'all killing me with this. I can't help.
Robert.
You're killing me, man. This ain't not about music. I'm trying to have a relationship with my kids, and I can't do it. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly pause the interview to give Kelly a moment.
Man, y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me. Y'all trying to kill me. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with killing me, man. Trying to kill me. Killing me, man. Trying to kill me. You don't want to believe it. Trying to kill me. Killing me, man. Trying to kill me. I hope this camera keep going. Stupid R. Kelly. Fight for my life. Stupid R. Kelly. Do it. Stupid R. Kelly. Fight for my life. Stupid R. Kelly. Do it.
Yes.
Okay. It's like that one do not get old. It do not get old. Okay. So it gave me a little bit of energy because, oh my gosh, we still have a great amount to get through. So now I'm going to be more focused about this during the second half. Okay. So I want to talk about Kevin Liles. I don't know if y'all have heard about him or what's going on. But it is definitely something that I think that we should all be kind of wondering about. He stepped down. He stepped down from 300. And for those of y'all who don't get it, just take a listen. So he was arrested very late Monday night, which might have been Tuesday morning for some, who knows. So Tuesday morning, you had a lot of people stepping down. A lot of CEOs of large companies stepping down. I heard the name Kevin Liles and I was like, what's going on with this? The thing about Kevin Liles and how I know Kevin Liles, right? Y'all know where I'm from, right? Type in the chat where I'm from. Y'all know where I'm from. And where I still am. So I thought that this was really interesting. He quits Warner Music. So what was interesting about this for me is that he has been with Warner. So he's stepping down as CEO of 300. Now he's been with Warner since 2004, which formerly housed Diddy's Bad Boy Records. I hate these ads on these things. Bad Boy Records, right? So so he steps down after about a decade or whatever, which formerly housed Diddy's Bad Boy Records. And he's been vocal defending Diddy. Let me actually show you where it actually says this in the article. I'm going to show you this because I do not find this to be a coincidence. I don't. I don't find it to be a coincidence. So let me make sure y'all can see what I see. Okay, cool. So you can see it says he's been with Warner Brothers since 2004, which formerly housed Bad Boy Records. And he's been vocal in defending Diddy. Defending the allegations against him. And I find it to be beyond crazy. I find it to be beyond ironic. And I'll just say this. I don't want to make this about me because Lord knows this ain't about me. This is about Puffy nasty ass. This is about Pissy Puffy. All right. I wonder what you have going on. And it hurts me to have to even say this because the high school that I went to, he built the football stadium. We needed a new football stadium at the high school when I was at the high school. So that's why every time I hear his name, I'm like, is it more than one Kevin Liles? Because I'm like, I remember when we were in high school and it was like, oh, Kevin Liles is buying y'all a new. Y'all need to say thank you to Kevin Liles because they completely demolished our football stadium and he paid to rebuild. Well, he paid for to have it demolished and to have it rebuilt. And therefore the football stadium at my alma mater, at my former high school, is called the Kevin Liles Stadium. Still, till this day, it's called the Kevin Liles Stadium. So it's like, before I understood that he had a connection to Puff, I felt like he was a philanthropist. I'm like, okay, he's a philanthropist. Okay, building but now understanding that you started this thing, you got into business with Puff years ago, and now that the day that you hear that Puff gets arrested, you step down along with a couple of other Sun Dodgers, people of no color, but you are of color. So it's like, you think you're going to get caught, or you didn't step down before, or you were defending him before, or like what's going on? Like, I'm sorry, like you can be from here all you want to, you can buy things and do philanthropy all you want to, but when you need to be called out, or if you're doing something that's a little suspect, I'm going to call it out. Like, don't think that just because I'm from here, or because my graduating class got to benefit from the stadium that you bought. That's the same shit that Diddy do. He buy you shit and expect you to be complicit and to stay quiet. Like, I'm not going to stay complicit and stay quiet just because you purchased something from my high school. And we were all grateful for that. Shit, the boyfriend that I had at the time completely enjoyed that football. Like, everybody was everybody was excited because we were just excited to have something new. But no, you can't pay for my silence when you're doing fucked up shit. And like, yeah, I appreciate what you did. And yes, as you know, in Baltimore, a lot of times we don't have enough rec centers. The kids be out here in the streets if we don't have rec centers and stuff to do. So him doing something to contribute to us having an extracurricular activity, it was definitely something. But don't think that it's something enough that means that all of the Baltimore, and especially the media personalities, are going to stay quiet and not speak up about some of your moves that appear to be suspect. Something's not right with that. You teamed up with Puff years ago. You've been defending Puff for years. And we all know the open secret. I'm not even up there in New York. I've never even been in Puff's vicinity, but I know he's sinister. And I know it's no way that you went into business with this man and you don't know that this man ain't sinister and ain't done no wrong things. Apparently, allegedly, he done knocked Cassie upside the head and pulled hair out of her scalp while Trey Songz and Neo and Usher was around standing and ain't do shit. So I know you have had to have heard something to have owned a record label along with him. And then for you to be out here. And then it's one thing for you to see something and not say something, even though that's still some cowardly shit. It's another thing for you to come out here and defend him, knowing what you know about him. So I just have to speak up. Yeah, we from the same spot. Yeah, we went to the same school. Yeah, we went to the same college too. But I have to call a thing a thing. And I would want somebody to call a thing if I was the person that was a victim of domestic violence. And there was somebody that identified with my abuser based on a high school, a football stadium, or a damn commonality in a college. I wouldn't want nobody to stay quiet just because, oh, we went to the same high school. Oh, he bought us a football stadium. Oh, and I also went to this HBCU too. I don't think so. I don't think so. And something's up with that. Let's look at his body language in this video here.
Here to criticize him. Do you think that he'll ever be able to make amends with them, or does it not matter anymore?
Oh no, listen. Everybody got their opinion, but everybody not going with what he's going through. And so at the end of the day, I wish anyone you gotta understand. Our culture, we're very opinionated about a lot of different things. But what's the most important, that we're human beings. And so I'm supporting a son, a human being, somebody, and I'm supporting the whole culture to say that we're getting attacked on us. So we got to protect Black art, and it could be you next. You know what I mean? So let's work together.
Diddy, have you spoken to him? All we want to know is, have you spoken to him? How is he? Where?
All right, peep this. Like I said, it's no point in us watching the whole video. I just want us to see the Diddy part. Take a listen and look at how he utilizes his words in this.
Spoken to him. All we want to know is, have you spoken to him? How is he? Where is his mind at? I know it's a lot that he's been going through. Very public.
Let's work together.
Diddy, have you spoken to him? All we want to know is, have you spoken to him? How is he? Where is his mind at? I know it's a lot that he's been going through. Very public. Have you spoken to him? How is he doing? Looks like he's, kind of keep his head up. You see him, in his house at the pool, chilling.
I'll tell you, like I tell people, somebody I grew up with, somebody I respect. It's not the Diddy I know.
It's not.
Okay. Introducing the Coach Me.
Introducing Kiss My Ass. Like, girl, what the fuck is you introducing? Child. What's Dr. Umar talking about? Hold on. 25 minutes ago. Hold on. Breaking
domestic abuse or pedophilia.
Oh, wait. What he's saying? Hold up. I gotta see this, y'all. Hold on. What's he saying? Where's the evidence? Oh my God, Umar. Where's the evidence that Sean Puffy Combs engaged in? Dr. Umar goes off on Diddy, recent federal, and says, okay. What is you talking about? Oh my God, I got the feeling he about to make me laugh. I hope he make me laugh instead of making me mad. Like, don't piss me off. Oh my gosh. 4 minutes. Okay, we can take. Can we take 4 minutes of laughter? Because I'm sorry, Dr. Umar is a character. I feel like let's give us a second to just ease up for a moment and see what Umar got going on, because why? I haven't had Tyra Banks cuss y'all out in a while, but you know what? I haven't had to cuss y'all out. I think we need to see
education, special education, psychiatric medication, juvenile incarceration, emotional frustration, and premature extermination.
He is such a fool. Okay, well, you know what? Let's see what's going on. He about to crack me up. Okay.
Sean Puffy Combs' federal charges have little, if anything, to do with domestic abuse or pedophilia. His major sex crime federally is he's being accused of transporting women across state lines to engage in sex. What we call prostitution. Not
Oh my God.
Out of pocket for that shit. Way out of pocket. What do you gain from that?
Let me tell you this. Every single nigga. You know what? I need to make this a separate video. Every single nigga you hear taking up for some P. Diddy shit, understand they do the same shit. And I don't want to hear nothing different, and can't nobody convince me otherwise. What is this? Oh my. I can't wait to keep cussing him out. Let's see what the fuck else he got to say.
Casey, not the freak offs, not underage girls, but prostitution. Why am I bringing this up? Because I don't support prostitution either. I do not support men paying for the sugar box. I do not support black women having to sexually exploit their sugar box in order to pay their bills. With that being said, prostitution is the oldest female business on the planet Earth. Prostitution is the
female business? What the fuck you mean female business? Do you think that prostitutes are only women? I know you fucking lying. I mean, the ignorance is astounding to me. Because if you think that people living with penises or people who identify in a masculine way aren't engaging in prostitution or sex work, you should probably just shut the fuck up. But I understand that you don't know how to, because there's plenty of niggas out here selling dick. No, I ain't never bought no dick, but I listen to a lot of conversations. And I'm in community with several people who have a past, some have a present, some have a future. I'm in community with some people who that was a part of their past. I'm in community with people who that was a part of their past, and they still have acquaintances and associates and friends who that is still their present. Like, what the fuck is you talking about? Oh.
The oldest female business on the planet Earth. Prostitution is the oldest female business on the planet Earth. It is the sexual trafficking that Sean Puffy Combs is being accused of. Not domestic abuse, not freak offs, not stomping out Cassie, not engaging in sex with underage women. It is interstate sexual trafficking. That is the charge. Why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up
because you're bored and you don't have a school to clock into. Hello? Am I right?
Peace, God. Because when I listen to the news, they're not talking about the evidence against Sean Puffy Combs. When I listen to the news, they're not talking about the evidence of Sean Puffy Combs. When I listen to the news, I have yet to hear anybody give me a specific piece of interstate sex trafficking evidence against Sean Puffy Combs. I'm going to say it again.
This is supposed to be a nigga that is highly educated, that has, what, a PhD? He claimed he related to fucking Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass family came out and said, bitch, stop fucking mentioning us. You're not fucking related to us, hoe. Sometimes it's across state lines, but also it's about if people are giving consent to have these relations with you. It's about, are you intimidating them? Are you showing a firearm and flashing a gun and saying, oh, give me some? They're so, it's layered.
I'm going to say it for the low political IQ Negroes. I'm going to say it for the average political IQ Negroes. And I'm going to say it for the high IQ Negroes. I haven't seen or heard a single piece of evidence against Sean Puffy Combs. I ain't read it in the New York Times. I ain't read it in the Philadelphia Inquirer. I ain't heard it on CNN. I ain't seen it on head.
The nigga don't like to read anything that he ain't wrote himself, because the shit is all over the place. I'm showing y'all all the shit. I'm not finished showing y'all all the shit. I just stumbled across this and I like torture, so I decided to click on it just to see what type of bullshit he was on, because I like this type of torture, so I can sit here.
Headline news, where is the evidence that Sean Puffy Combs engaged in interstate sex trafficking? I keep hearing about Cassie when I turn on the news. Why are we hearing about Cassie when Cassie has nothing to do with the federal indictment? Sex crime federally.
This is the part that gets me. Cassie has everything to do with the federal indictment because she is victim number one. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking? This is how you know, like, the nigga's not trying to read no documents. He's not trying to get no understanding. He's just trying to defend a nigga that he feel is black and cool. And instead of trying to get a fucking understanding, he's defending him without understanding what the nigga did wrong. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Cassie is victim number one. I could pull up the paperwork right now. She has everything to do with the indictment. She's in the indictment. She's the one who the attorney is claiming threw a cell phone at Diddy's head. And then that's when as a matter of fact, the hotel footage of him running out in his towel and kicking Cassie in her stomach and stomping her out is in the indictment. So what do you mean she has nothing to do with the indictment? These niggas just wake up and want to defend abusers, and these are the niggas that you have got to watch the fuck out for. Because before they try to apply logic, common sense, empathy, compassion, common sense, any of that, they're going to defend a nigga even when he's dead wrong. That nigga could have slapped you upside the head and knocked your eyeball out. His homeboy is going to get up and say, well, why did you say his big toenail was ugly? You shouldn't have said that. So he slapped you. Do better. Hello? Hello? You talking about you ain't seen shit. You know why you ain't seen shit? Because you ain't looking for shit.
Stuff. Not domestic abuse, not freak offs, not stomping out Cassie, not engaging in sex with underage women. It is interstate sexual trafficking. That is the charge. Why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up. Peace, God.
You bringing it up because you hit bitches, but go ahead.
Because when I listen to the news, they're not talking about the evidence against Sean Puffy Combs. When I listen to the news,
even Fox News got the shit right. I was extremely surprised when I watched Fox News the other night that you had Chris Hansen on that motherfucker and somebody else. And they usually spit. I listened to that whole 6-minute segment and damn, they got the shit right. Now, mind you, it sounded like all they did was listen to us niggas talking about our own community and regurgitating it. But the fact of the matter is, you're not telling me you ain't heard the real motherfucking deal out here on the motherfucking news. It's niggas talking about it on Black urban networks, and you even got the Fox News and the other motherfuckers putting it out. So if you haven't heard the facts, you're dodging the facts because you want to defend a nigga that's a fucking woman beater, because that's what the fuck you do too.
they're not talking about the evidence of Sean Puffy Combs. When I listen to the news, I have yet to hear anybody give me a specific piece of interstate sex trafficking evidence against Sean Puffy Combs. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it for the low political IQ Negroes. I'm going to say it for the average political IQ Negroes. And I'm going to say it for the high IQ Negroes. I haven't seen or heard a single piece of evidence against Sean Puffy Combs. I ain't read it in the New York Times. I ain't read it in the Philadelphia Inquirer. I ain't heard it on CNN. I ain't seen it on headline news.
You ain't heard it on CNN. As a matter of fact, the platform that has the most accurate information about all of this Diddy shit is CNN. You haven't heard it on CNN because you don't want to hear it on CNN. I know 2 personal bloggers that I'm in communication with that have been on CNN within the last couple of days talking about it. And that's just for the people who don't like to motherfucking read. That's for the people who would prefer to listen. But when it comes to the CNN website, oh, it's all there, baby. And it's plastered all over there. And if you want one of the more accurate outlets to get your information from, CNN is where it's at. So stop just naming places to make it seem like you looking for info that you ain't looking for. You are intentionally being Stevie Wonder when it comes to you trying to find fault and blame in P. Diddy's 3-decade crusade of evilness and ridiculousness and intimidation and abuse of power.
Where is the evidence that Sean Puffy Combs engaged in interstate sex trafficking?
It's in your school. What? I know you're not asking where something is. You asking where something is? You got people that donated money to you 10 years ago for a motherfucking school that we still can't see. It's invisible. Am I Stevie Wonder for the school, or are you Stevie Wonder for the facts of how P. Diddy is guilty as hell? Which one is it? If you're asking where the facts are, the facts live in your motherfucking school. That's where the facts are. That's where. So one of us blind, or maybe both of us blind. I don't know. The fuck?
King. I keep hearing about Cassie when I turn on the news. Why are we hearing about Cassie when Cassie has nothing to do with the federal indictment?
Not true.
I don't think any black man should have 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
I don't think any man should get donations on the on the back, on the lie that they're about to open up an educational institution for 10 years and not have anything to fucking show for it. I don't think that should be happening either, but does that matter? No, it doesn't fucking matter. Because you still gonna scam. And you still gonna be blind to whatever the fuck Diddy did, even if somebody put it right up in your motherfucking face. Just like you blind to the fact that Kamala ain't asked you to motherfucking interview for no damn $10,000. Don't nobody want to sit down with you for no damn $10,000.
I don't think any black man needs 1,000 bottles of baby oil. But I haven't seen anywhere in federal law where owning 1,000 bottles of baby oil is a federal crime. Brothers and sisters, are you with me so far?
No. No.
Brothers and sisters, are you with me so far?
No.
Do you understand, overstand, and understand what the most requested black scholar in the world is saying right now?
You are not. You are not. Oh. Woo. I'm hot. Y'all. If you don't get the fuck up out my face with this bullshit, Umar, like
Why?
At this point, I'm not sure who's more irritating, you or Joe Nutter and Charles.
Now, do you understand and overstand and understand what the most requested black scholar in the world is saying right now? Do you understand, overstand, and understand what the premier Pan-Africanist on the planet is saying to you right now? Baby oil is not a federal crime. Stomping out Cassie, he was not charged with a crime. The freak-offs are not crimes. So why do we keep hearing about
Whoo. This. Oh my God. I don't even know what oh, I know he did not I know he did. No, I'm mistaken. Clearly. I know he did not just say that. Right? I'm tripping. I'm hearing things. I'm hearing them. I know he did not, and then said it so casually too. I know. And then he spitting at the phone.
Out Cassie, he was not charged with a crime.
Oh, wow, he did say it. Oh my God.
baby oil is not a federal crime. Stomping out Cassie, he was not charged with a crime.
And then the way he stomping out Cassie, he wasn't charged. Baby oil ain't a charge. So what are you in it? You lousy. Oh my gosh. I used to laugh at some of his jokes, but now, where's Little Bill? Little Bill, where's you at? Oh, that's it.
But you're not. Stop it! I have never in my life yelled at a girl like this. When my mother yells at this, it's because she loves me. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Learn something from this. You go to bed at night, you lay there, and you take responsibility for yourself.
He ain't being charged for stomping out Cassie, so. Girl. Somebody need to be charged. Somebody don't need to be charged with. I hope when somebody stomp you out, I hope they don't get charged. I hope they don't get charged. Because I saw you was real spooked and nervous up there at the airport the other day too, because somebody called the damn people, people on you. Good. The fuck? Let me hurry up and get through this. This is horrible. Ooh. But you know what? I'm glad I clicked on it though. I really am, because when you understand, when people show you who they are, you got to believe them. I know that's a old African folklore. Believe them. This is who this Negro is. This is who this sick Negro is. And he's showing us who he is. 2 times a day, he's right. Just like a broken clock. No different than Azalea Banks. But when they show you who they are for, like, he's not really for the betterment of us. He's about grifting and getting money. Peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-Africanism. That's it. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing more. I tell you, the next time, I'm really looking for this clip. This is what Dr. Umar is. He's a sick Negro.
This is a sick Negro.
Absolutely. And 100%. I agree. This is out of control. If I ever saw Dr. Umar out in public and he'd be talking about all this snow bunny, and we saw him talking to a damn snow bunny one day. So like, I just don't want to hear it. I just don't want to hear I was buying incense. What piece of Pan-Africanism, what black man is buying incense from a white woman? Ain't nobody doing that shit. If I ever see you in public, this is me.
Police! Help! Police! Help! Police! Help! Help! Police! Help!
Okay, because I'm sick of you.
The freak offs are not crimes. So why do we keep hearing about Cassie?
I see what it is. Freaky ass niggas, y'all 69 gods. Freaky ass niggas, y'all 69 gods. Run for your life. Y'all, I see you, Boosie, Faison Love, y'all into that shit. I'm going to keep counting and I'm going to keep adding to the list, and I'm going to make videos about y'all asses. All of y'all, because all of y'all got shitty ass, dirty ass, muddy ass track records when it comes to not only treating women, but just having morale in general. Y'all some freaky ass niggas, y'all some 69 gods. And I hope y'all understand the shit that y'all excusing from Diddy, since y'all act like y'all so anti-booty, y'all so anti-booty warrior. That nigga is into more than just women. So I hope you know you're excusing the shit that y'all really rant against every day Both you and Boosie. We know Boosie is obsessed with talking shit about homosexual people, which is why some people think that Boosie is into that shit or has done that shit. Same with Dr. Umar. So I hope you know what you're really defending. A gender fluid man who would fuck you, who will fuck Selena Gomez, who will fuck a mailbox. Raggedy ass. Oh! Yeah, look at that screenshot. Just keep your mouth open, sir.
Why do we keep hearing about baby oil? Why do we keep hearing about freak offs? Where are the federal charges and why are the charges being sealed? Why did the feds seal the charges against Sean Puffy Combs? I'm going to tell you one reason why the feds sealed the charges against Sean Puffy Combs. One of the biggest reasons they sealed the charges against Sean Puffy Combs is because the evidence is probably weak. The evidence is probably weak. And because the evidence is probably weak, that he is guilty of interstate sex.
You're such an idiot. Like, this man is such an idiot. This man is so crazy. It's sealed because, number one, it's a high profile case. Number two, it's actually in Diddy's best interest to have it sealed because most of the shit is extremely incriminating against him. Most of it is not just intimate. Hey, good, innocent. Hey, good morning. How are you? A lot of it is incriminating. And if Diddy could have it his way, Diddy would leave it sealed. It's really interesting that you're saying, why is it sealed? And something got unsealed for us the other day, and now we're seeing all the shit. And if it remains unsealed, it's just gonna continue with the negative crusade. Well, not even that. Well, yeah, it is a negative crusade, but it's a truthful crusade against Diddy. So why is the government seals a lot of cases? And hell, Justin Bieber, I'm sorry, not Justin Bieber, Justin Timberlake. His recent DUI is also sealed. When this nigga, like, you trying to take up for a nigga that wouldn't piss on you if you was on fire. That's the fact of the matter. And you don't even realize these celebrities with a lot of money can pay to have shit sealed for however long. Justin Timberlake and his records and the body cam and all that, completely and absolutely sealed, and it won't ever come out. And it's not because the government's trying to protect him. It's because he has enough money to protect himself, because he's a millionaire, probably a billionaire. So for you to be asking why his records were sealed, Diddy wanted them sealed. Diddy has enough going against him already as is. So you trying to be this government fear mongerer is fucking ridiculous. And you really should calm down and do some research. Where's the evidence? Yo, have you tried to Google anything before you made a video like this? There is no reason why. I didn't finish college. I didn't get my college degree. You did. But why are you lacking all of this common sense about the law? And I know a little bit more than you. Like, that's why you got to stop bragging about your education level when you out here online saying asinine ass shit. Calm down. Calm down.
Trafficking. And because the evidence is probably weak, that he is guilty of
the evidence is weak, but they collected 90 cell phones, over 144,000 pages of information from all of Diddy's companies, over 300 different subpoenas. And so also with the tapping of his phone and listening to him trying to tamper with the witness, which is obstruction of justice, and telling somebody to say, this is, despite what you saw, say this happened. All of those pieces of evidence are very credible and very heavy at that. Not lightweight at all. So what are you saying? Like, are you doing research into the case and like what's happening, or you just came out here with no research to defend your fellow brother because y'all the same skin tone and you feel like maybe Diddy will invite you to a brunch or something one day? Newsflash. There's no more brunch for Diddy unless you want to show up to the jail. Christina's gone. Would you like something to eat?
Interstate sex trafficking.
Anybody know what movie that is? Comment in the chat. I would just love to crack up because that movie cracks me up. But that's how I feel talking to this idiot right now. You know, the nigga was paralyzed. I just feel like this nigga is mentally paralyzed right now. And I just have to try hard to get him to understand a little bit of
They had to seal the charges. They had to hide the charges from you and I. They had to hide the charges from you and I. They had to hide.
They had to hide the charges, hide the wife, hide the charges, hide the wife. Boy, shut the fuck up.
Hide the charges from you and I. Because the evidence is probably weak that he is guilty of interstate sex trafficking, they had to seal the charges. They had to hide the charges from you and I. They had to hide the charges from you and I long enough for the public execution to be carried out.
And he had to use the word execution because that is a heavy word. Honestly speaking, execution is a heavy word, but you know what the word execution means is it means what he's saying with that is, oh, y'all trying to tear down the black man. This black man did a lot of shit to tear himself down. We are not doing anything to tear that black man down. What we are doing is upholding justice and our ability to speak out and say that that's wrong and this type of behavior should not continue. Period, point blank. This education, this behavior should not continue. So no, nobody's trying to tear him down. He was not about to buy NBC. The nigga was doing fucked up shit and he got caught up. Nobody's trying to tear no black man down. And this is the thing. This is the issue that I have with our community sometimes is it be like, when you try to hold them accountable, they take accountability as an attack, whether it's something as severe as this or not. And so it's, oh, you trying to attack a black man? No, accountability is not an attack. It's not. And Sean, Diddy, Love, Slippery Sean should be held accountable for what he's done. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. But we need to move into the other things that we need to talk about. I cannot believe that he over there doing that. I cannot believe. Let's move on. We need to get into this IV drip because the IV drip, and thank you to everybody who was here. Please be sure that you hit the thumbs up button. I do appreciate it. Hit that like button because you're already here. Also, please be sure that you hit the subscribe button and comment down below and let me know what you think about all that is being discussed. I am very opinionated. I don't mind a difference of opinion as long as you're being respectful. We're going to move on and we're going to talk and get into this IV drip. This IV drip honestly had me a little perplexed because it's just like what are y'all talking about? So essentially, let me go ahead and do that. So Diddy would do, there were, drugs that he would administer. I'm sorry, y'all still talk about diary. Stop blowing them bubbles. Damn, Christina. But no, so let's get into the IV drip. And I want to get into the IV drip because I thought that was crazy because I never thought I would say anything like that. But let's go ahead and get into the IV. And with the IV, essentially, we all know, or if you don't know, I'll inform you that Diddy allegedly used several different types of drugs to keep his victims obedient and compliant. And basically, based on all the evidence, when it came down to people who were involved in the freak offs, sometimes he would drug them and sometimes he would coerce them. And that's just what it is. There was a video that we're going to watch a little bit later from Gene Deal, where he would speak about stuff being spiked and people unknowingly, consuming drugs at the hand of Diddy. And then other times he would be coercing people. And people really need to understand with the coercion aspect of, do people really need to understand or do they not want to understand? I think a lot of people really don't want to understand. But before I get into those definitions, those are two totally different things. But when it came to these freak offs, he would either drug them or coerce them. And his narcotics of choice were ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB. Let me tell you something, baby. I don't know anything about any of those things. I don't want to know anything about it. I don't even know what them drugs is. So I really feel like them people know how to party in a way that I don't want to know how to party. Like, you know how to party. I never want to party that way. And you know what's really interesting about this? This is actually going out of order, but I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to pull up Tracee Ellis Ross. Tracee Ellis Ross spent some time with, let me tell you how she spent this time with Diddy. What happened was she was supposed to do a cross promotion with Diddy. He had a new flick. Well, not he, because Diddy has never owned Ciroc. He was just a face of Ciroc, and he never had any equity or stock in them. And there was a new flavor of Ciroc coming out, and Tracee Ellis Ross actually has a line out that is a hair care line for textured hair. And her interaction with Diddy was extremely interesting. So let me show you all that really quickly.
What is this flavor?
Let me get this.
Now, mind you, they're supposed to be cross promoting. There were a couple things I noticed about this video. She was kind of like dodging she was just kind of like dodging. His head was kind of, it's like he kept trying to get his head close to her face, and she continued to dodge it. But he also wasn't on point with the cross promotion that they were supposed to be doing with her hair product and his beverage. And so and then there was also another point in the video where he poured them both a shot, but she pretended to drink and she didn't even drink the shot. So she was really like dodging him, trying to almost slobber over her for a moment. And then also I don't know if she knew, if she was told, like, don't drink. She pretended to take the shot. She didn't really take the shot. It's interesting. Watch that. I'm going to play it 2 times for you.
What's that flavor?
I need some conditioner.
Put that conditioner in your hair right now. Okay? We're going to put this in my system.
Pattern.
Hold on.
Oh my God. My hair is back.
What is this flavor?
Let me get this.
What's that flavor?
I need some conditioner.
Put that conditioner in your hair right now. Okay? We're going to put this in my system.
Pattern.
Hold on.
Oh my God. My hair is back. Having an orgasm right now.
Oh my God.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. I love you.
Okay, so this is where it gets a little weird. Take a look. I'm going to rewind it a couple seconds. Take a look at how she responds. And she looks at him like she dodges. Like you can tell, like she already knew what was up.
No, kids, I love you. Black excellence. Kids, you queen. No, kids, I love you. Black excellence to us. Yes, bitches.
I cannot drink that whole thing.
Black home.
Very, awkward situation. Also, hold on.
What is this flavor?
Get this.
What's that flavor?
I need some conditioner.
Put that conditioner in your hair right now. Okay. We're gonna put this in my system. Hold on.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so she pretended to drink twice.
My hair is like having an orgasm right now.
Oh my God.
Cheers, you queen.
Cheers.
No, cheers.
Black,
I love you.
Black excellence.
Black excellence to us. Yes, bitches.
I cannot drink that whole thing.
Black home.
So, he's had experience. Well, Tracy Ellis Ross, she knew what it was. She knew what it was. She knew exactly what it was, and shout out to her. So the thing about this, when we get into, I'm getting back into the IR drip. I'm sorry, the IV drip. And so, like I said, when he did this IV drip situation, we talk about it, and a lot of people don't know about it. Lord knows I don't. I'm not familiar. I used to hear Funky Deneva talking about the IV drips on TGIF and things of that nature. I don't know. Apparently some people get, really hungover or have some sort of a night and they go and get an IV drip. But it seems like Diddy had them like all the time. And so it can be based off a hangover. I remember hearing about Wendy Williams having an IV drip, but nonetheless, when we talk about the IV drip as it pertains to Diddy, the drugs that kept folks obedient and compliant, and based on all the evidence, when it came to the people involved in the freak offs, sometimes, Diddy would drug them, he would force them, and the narcotics were ketamine, ecstasy, or GHB. And these were over the top. And a lot of the freak offs will be really long as hell, like long as hell freak offs. Sometimes they be hours, sometimes they be days at a time. And sometimes they involved multiple participants, including multiple commercial sex workers. And so a lot of times when Diddy would do this stuff with these people, he would give them some sort of a parting gift. And the parting gift would, be after hours and days, after long freak offs, in order to hydrate and replenish after, being drugged and forced to exert themselves until Diddy told them they were allowed to stop. Diddy would gift them with like IV, like an IV treatment, whatever the case is. Diddy was really big on the IV stuff. Like, he was really big. So I'm about to show you this video of Diddy actually doing an IV. I can't believe with doing an IV with his mother. Okay, Umar, calm down. Jesus. Jeez. Umar was about to cuss me the fuck out. Damn. Umar was about to cuss me out. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you the... This is him with his mommy. With his mammy. Getting a little IV.
Yeah, my mom's gorgeous. Let me introduce you to my mom, called Mom Dukes.
Hi.
She's getting a drip with me. She's hydrating. What's up, Mom?
Everything's good, baby. I'm here with you.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too. Mom, freshly dipped though. I was trying to show you shoes. Yeah, my mom's is single. Mom's is single. I ain't gonna hate on my mom's. She's single. Me and my mom talked about one time doing a dating show with her. She's so picky. She's so picky, they don't stand. But yeah, that'd be the funniest show in the world.
It will be. Especially with me.
I don't even want to get started if she was doing that. We're not doing that. Cause yeah, my mom's single. Yeah, for real. Mom do know how to have a good time. She ain't sitting in the house playing. They outside moving and shaking, baby. She come with me to strip club. I don't care. For real. It's my dog. You know, I want to live life. We out here moving and grooving. My mom told me, she just said, keep moving, baby.
That's right.
Keep moving.
Don't stop.
She could touch the floor with her palms. You know? Flat. Oh! Take pew, pew, pew.
Well, mom gets IVs too, I guess. Very interesting. So, Mace has something to say about that.
Yo, how dare this nigga told me he want receipts? Let's start with your mother, nigga. Your mother got the receipts, nigga. Everything is in your mother's name. That's the one who got the receipts, nigga. You need more proof, nigga? Yo, how dare this nigga told me he want receipts? Let's start with your mother, nigga. Your mother got the receipts, nigga. Everything is in your mother's name. That's the one who got the receipts, nigga. You need more proof, nigga?
Okay. Is you playing with Mace? Is you really playing with Mace like that? Because I sure, baby. The way I would wake up and look at my phone, I'd be like, what? Ooh. Can I sleep at night? Well, I guess Mace can't get up into the jail, but other people can. Oh, what's going on? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Let me see. How much left? Should I make a part 2? Should I make a part 2? I feel like I should. This video has already been, let me see. Yeah. I got carried away with this video. And I'm still only halfway done with what. Yeah. I think I'm going to have to end this video and go ahead and start another one. Just going to change the title slightly and do another one. This video is already 3 hours long. This video had no business being that long. I get so excited because I've been away from y'all for a while. But this second part of the video is actually more important. Like, this is actually more, the stuff that I have is more egregious. Okay. Okay. Well, it doesn't make sense for me to continue with this video here. What time is it? It is 7 o'clock my time. Damn. still early. Okay. I'm going to end this video. I'm going to start another one because the next part of the video that I was about to get into was about how Puffy has a habit of targeting children. I mean, he targets everybody, but targeting children in particular, and how disgusting that is, and his habit of targeting children. And I don't want that to be lost upon this video, since we're already about 2 hours and 44 minutes in. Who's going to watch to the 3-hour mark to really see that? Like, I need people to really see and understand how much of a nasty monster he is. So I'm going to adjust the title a smidge, use the same metadata, and come back and get into the second part so that people can like see it from the, because the video that the couple of videos that I found of him with children the other night that I had never seen before, I was completely blown out of this world. I couldn't believe it. And I'd be damned if I let it be buried in a video 3 hours later, because who the fuck is going to see it then? No. We're going to do that in another video. So I'm just going to come up with another title and come in with another video. I may or may not open the phone lines for people and for folks to call in. So you might definitely want to be a part. You might definitely want to subscribe to the channel. I'm only letting you up if you are subscribed to the channel. But there are some, hey Rabbit, I see you in the chat. Matter of fact, I'm literally getting ready to call you as soon as I end this before I start the other one. What was I about to say? So we're going to end this. We're going to come back with another video, giving a bit more of an expose, because that's not even the only thing that I have left as it pertains to Diddy. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get out of here. We're going to come back in another video, and I will catch y'all in the next video. I'll probably see y'all within the hour, maybe in about like 30 minutes to an hour. I'll see you then. I love you all so much. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a beautiful evening. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. But definitely make sure y'all subscribe. Okay? Stay beautiful, black, and blessed. And I'll catch you in the next one. Deuces. But that's it. If you want to catch more of my commentary on Black culture or vital and trending information, be sure to subscribe by hitting that little circle in the middle of the screen, or I'll catch you in one of these rectangles to the right in another video. I'll see you there.